Hey beautiful souls, how are you guys doing? So I wanted to make a video on a topic that everyone is talking about. I'm just checking my mic. And this is a big one for 2024. It is the energy of Pluto moving into Aquarius, and we're still in the last degrees of Capricorn. So we're really feeling it on a personal level, on a collective level, especially if it's hitting something directly on 29 degrees of Capricorn in your chart. For me at the moment, it's going through my ascendant, and believe me, it has been a rough ride. This year has really been life-changing, but the good thing is with Pluto, there might be a lot of destruction, there might be a lot of triggers, there might be a lot of things which we'll get into. But at the end of it, you know, when you emerge, you can actually manifest a lot more, and you actually realize a lot more of your own power. For example, for me, I manifested something that I didn't think I was ever going to manifest. But just because the situation was getting so Pluto-ish, it takes away the choice for you. It kind of makes you and pushes you in that direction. So it can manifest things really quickly, and what I thought would take years suddenly came true. It's in the process. Hopefully it will go through. But, you know, it's just something that I've really wanted for a very long time. So yeah, hitting your ascendant, especially if it's you with 29 degrees in Capricorn, ascendant, moon or sun, I really feel you. And if it's any other planet as well, of course I feel you, because you will be working with that energy. But on a collective level, we're all feeling it. We all have 29 degrees of Capricorn in our charts somewhere. So I want to go through some very real tips on how to work with Pluto from my own personal experience as well. So I'm going to share what's been working for me, what's kept me grounded through this very weird time. Well, for everybody, you know, after everything that's happened in the last couple of years. So I've got my notes here. And let's begin with control. Wow, okay. Globally, control is a big one. There's a lot of power plays and control. We're seeing this. Even if you don't watch the news, you're probably hearing it through somewhere. There's a lot of different shifts in the power and control. And on a personal level, you might be triggered to reevaluate what control is to you, what you can't control, what you can control. Remember, you can't control other people and change other people. They have to do it themselves. That's their responsibility. But you can control how you react to certain situations, especially during the times where you're going through a lot of your own trigger stuff. And yeah, recently I've been doing that as well. What I would normally do is react in a certain way, but then, you know what, working with the intuition, I thought, you know, take a step back and control how you react to something, especially if it triggers a lot of stuff in you. And also, don't let anyone control what you redefine yourself as. As we're shifting, as we're changing, you know, some people or some concepts or some belief systems will make you feel that you need to be a certain way. And it's actually about releasing that and not letting something external control who your new you is supposed to be. So control is a big one. How has control been for you, and where can you surrender? You know, knowing when is a good time to take a step back, as I said, and surrender, and know that maybe it's not the time, or maybe you need to give yourself more space to think about a situation or feel into it, you know, instead of just jumping straight in and reacting. Again, intuition is a wonderful thing for knowing when to surrender and what to control. And the next thing I would definitely say is, with that, controlling, or should I say redefining and creating solid foundations. And this is a beautiful exercise I did when I was in university doing psychology. You can look this up. It's called Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. Yep, there's a lot of criticisms in that model. That's a whole other essay and, you know, academic stuff. But If you want to do a journal exercise, you can go through each thing and redefine what each thing means to you. For example, what does belonging mean to you? What does safety mean to you? What does self-actualization mean to you? And do this every year just to redefine what each level is and how you can build starting from the bottom up. And you can easily Google that, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Use that to see what your own needs are and to redefine yourself. Again, not going by anyone else's stuff, because we're all going through shifts and changes. We're all in the cocoon stage of almost breaking down. If you think of a caterpillar, it has to literally break down in the cocoon before it builds itself up and emerges, and that's painful. That's triggering. But we can also become very clear about what our needs are. So that's a little exercise I invite you to do with your journal, your Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and see if it changes every year. I know for me it has done, since I exercised. It was a very good exercise because he did it, the professor did it on a personal level. So we all had to choose and define our own, which I thought was really good instead of going to the academic. It became more personal and it stuck with me ever since. So that's a beautiful journal exercise to do. The next one is shadow work. Oh my goodness. What would Pluto be without shadow work? And this is a lot to do with addictions, healing, belief systems, things that we felt shame, things that we had trauma over, guilt, etc., etc., things that we've had buried within us. This is a great time to actually look at what is going on behind what we show everybody, and really what we even show ourselves. Our shadow work, and really diving in. So a lot of people who never went to therapy are starting to look for therapists, or asking for help, or researching, or even doing their own exercises, in different ways of health and mental health, which is going to be a big one. Mental health is a huge one for 2024 and beyond. Working with that. And not being afraid, again, it's a process. It's something where you're in that cocoon, you're turning to mush. But at the same time, you're rebuilding, and you're going to be able to manifest so much quicker afterwards. So don't be afraid to dive into your shadow work. And as we move into Aquarius for, the next 20 years, it's going to be a long process, but we're going to start seeing on a collective level where you stand. Aquarian energy is very activist energy, on a collective level. It doesn't have to be face to face, it can be even online. What groups, what networks, what tribe do you want to be part of? Really, what tribe do you want to be a part of, and how can you channel your needs and your skills in those areas as well? So that is a really good way of looking at the positive side. Some of the shadow sides of this Aquarian energy, and you can see this already, is going back to control, the censorship, and the changes of how networking is through control, through different ways of doing things. And that's going to become much more obvious as we go along and as technology evolves with AI. Remember when Pluto went into Aquarius, AI suddenly became a huge topic, and it stayed with us. Suddenly everyone is aware of AI, and I think ChatGPT. I still have to use it. I think it's called ChatGPT. I need to get up to date with these things, but yeah, these are when people started talking about it and the dangers of AI and all of this sort of things, especially with our work as well. Can AI replace some of the things? So if you're up-leveling your skills, now is a good time when it comes to groups and networks to start thinking about how you can take your existing skills and level up so that you can be part of the future, part of the future, part of the collective, and also be very active in the collective as we go through all these changes. But of course, it will be a 20-year process, and after this 20 years, the world is going to be a very different place. I mean, already it has been, but this is a long transit, and And yeah, Aquarius moves fast. You know, we will start to see the pace really pick up. So work on your solid foundations. Work on what you can control. Work on your shadow work. Work on all the things I mentioned, you know, to redefine yourself so that you can feel prepared for the next the next 20 years. But as this is going to be, you know, just the very beginning, now's a good time to start because you still have a lot of releasing to do. As we move through this 29 degrees Capricorn, it's about releasing old structures, releasing old parts of ourselves so that we can embrace the new side of who we are and how we want to show up in the world. So I wish everyone a beautiful 2024. And if you're watching this in 2024, how has your year been? I hope it's been good so far, and may it bring so many more beautiful blessings. Take care of yourself and have a beautiful year. Chatna.